It's Elite POV, coming live to your area on twitch.tv.
Let's fucking go!
We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite.
Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Elite POV, where it's podcast time, and you know what that means. I'm one of your hosts, Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium alongside, surprise, surprise, FTR Girl is in FTR merch.
Oh, she's here again.
Jax, what is up, Jackie?
Of course, FTR Girl's in FTR merch again. Here we go.
Wow. Surprise, surprise. I have nothing.
We get it, Jackie. You like FTR.
Well, you couldn't tell from the backdrop, from the t-shirt.
Here we go again.
from,
What's going to be another podcast talking about FTR for 50 minutes? God.
You know, surprisingly, for somebody who is such an FTR mark, we don't get to talk about FTR a whole lot. Gee,
Good. Save for the Patreon page.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
Because we forbid it.
We're not going to start off on assault. You know, it's not because they don't get booked regularly. Well, we're not going to do
Jackie,
that.
tell us how
we're
you
not
really
going to
feel.
do that.
Tell us how you really feel. Do I got to bring up the classroom off the start here? Okay.
I don't know. Y'all wanted to start it on a road.
It's not classroom with Jackie though. It's escuela with Jackie.
Okay, escuela with Jackie.
Escuela con Jackie.
Wow.
But anyway, since we wanted to start this on a roast, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? Yeah, FTR girl is here, clearly.
And that other voice you hear is the number one Saraya mark. Let's hope he learns how to say her name properly this week, Mr. Kyle Masters.
Yeah, Kyle.
You can be FTR girl. I'll be Saraya guy.
Saraya guy.
Saraya guy 863.
Oh, here we go. Kyle talking about Saraya again. Fuck. Talk about something else, Kyle.
50,000 tweets.
You don't tweet about Jamie Hayter anymore.
Oh, he does.
I'm shocked no one's come at me.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right.
Like the one person you like forever, Kyle.
Yeah. Shout out to Demon D be in the chat, Issa. Popping for Escuela.
Hey, Issa.
But yeah, I'm doing good. Fine. I got my Saraya
Issa.
shirt. Had to buy it right away. And I didn't care what it looked like. I just
Saraya, Kyle.
Saraya. I know she's gonna yell at me.
Yeah.
I'm just being a heel like Britt, you know. Just gonna call her Saraya. Anyways, no, Saraya. Yeah, I didn't really care what the shirt looked like. I just bought it right away. I think I'm gonna make the one that I put out there though, and like buy it for myself, or just.
Did you buy the zombified one?
I didn't get it in time.
Oh, it's sold out. I hate when they do that.
Yeah. Oh, they sold out of my size. It sucks being a big guy.
Listen, big and beautiful. You know what I mean?
I gotta go on that I gotta go on that POC diet and not eat carbs for 8 years.
And then have travel issues.
Yeah.
All those abs are from travel issues, bro. You can't eat if you're stuck in the airport.
Yeah. You're stuck eating crackers and soup.
Yeah.
Shitty soup.
But cracker is a carb. But what are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. Well.
Yeah, that's why we're not in shape.
Is butter a carb?
Is butter a carb?
Anyways, yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Got my shirt though. Is the only issue is I don't mind the shirt. It's just the global AEW store sucks for t-shirt quality. It's the basic form, like the basic shirt that you get to pick. That you know how like you can pick the style and you can pay more for like a better, like a better comfort shirt. You know what I mean? Like the better material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the basic one that you don't have to pay for is a Eurofit.
Oof.
What the hell is a Eurofit?
So like
it's way tighter. It's like a unisex.
Yeah, so I'm XL, but in Europe that's small.
Yeah.
It's like my arms are suffocating over here.
Yeah. Well, that's just because you're jacked.
It'll make your biceps look like huge.
Whatever. I could have paid that extra $8. It's like $8
Kyle,
Canadian.
we will send it to you, bro. We will send it to you.
I know.
It'll probably get there faster.
Seriously.
This came in. The good thing about the global shop AEW, the Canadian factory, is literally 45 minutes away from me. So I got this in 2 days.
Ooh, look at you, bro. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, and shout out to Carrie. Head booker Carrie, somehow, like, she, like, orders her shirt, and then, like, the next day
she gets this on Twitter.
House. No, she does not. No, she does not.
Yes, she does. No. She gets her shit fast as hell.
No, when she makes it herself, we've had many conversations about her waiting for her stuff.
No. She's been getting hers fast. Oh, look, Carrie's
she can confirm. She's in the chat right now.
She's in the chat right now. Love you, Carrie.
Anyways,
listen, that's just it's how it goes in these streets, bro. And then we're in Chicago where we can literally make a hand-to-hand fucking transaction, and they want to close the store.
Yeah,
you know how many fucking FTR shirts Jackie would have bought but no, that's lost income right there. And listen, and I saw Jackie right? I saw on my feed people were talking about it. Not FTR Girl 26987, no, like
No, that's her
but
burner
I saw people
account.
talking about it. Oh, that's a burner account. Okay, I saw people talking about it. The jackets finally shipped.
Oh.
Oh, yes, they did. And guess whose didn't?
Oh, never mind.
Oof.
Right here.
They forgot about
Guess
you.
guess who contacted Pro Wrestling Tees to ask what the deal is?
What'd they
and
say?
guess who got told, "Oh, they're shipping in waves. You'll get notification when you're
That's what they did with the titles.
So
And
look, Jackie was like, "Listen, you motherfuckers, I have a certain set of skills. Okay, if you don't give me my jacket, all right. Do you know who I am? All right, I am the fucking captain of the mustache ride.
What do we
you
call her
give
earlier?
me my motherfucking jacket."
Oh my God. Phil.
That's what she said.
Phil.
That's what she said. What?
Stop it.
What did I say?
You know what you said.
I'm
Don't
talking
be
about
the-
Cash's luxurious
don't-
hair.
How is that a
A lot of people
mustache?
have mustache. A lot of people have mustache. Anything's a mustache if you put your mind to it, you know.
The disrespect. Okay.
So Dynamite happened yesterday.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you, please.
I switched to this chat from Carrie. Issa. Pop the boys.
So listen, pop the boys.
Hey, Jackie, give us a pop the boys.
Pop the boy.
Well, if it's your first time listening to this chaos, well, usually in our new time, Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern.
We're all over
But
the
tonight's a
place.
special night because we're all busy. The times are gonna be all over the place because it's the holidays. We're getting into it. Everybody's busy with all this stuff going on. But we do it every week on twitch.tv/ElitePOV and youtube.com/ElitePOV. If you are live in the chat, say hello. And if you're not live in the chat, why aren't you? Join us. We have some great people in chat that you can get to know and you get to talk to every week. If you are here and you like what you are hearing, patreon.com/ElitePOV, where, as we've mentioned before in the past weeks, we have a lot of bonus content from our Chicago trip. Kyle thought it was going to be a quick video. It's basically 1.5. We have so much footage up there. Jackie puts up footage. Jackie and Kyle do a great show. We have a lot of things working on our Patreon right now. And then ElitePOVmerch.com. Get our great Elite POV full gear shirt that is up there.
I got to update this graphic.
Yeah, we got to update the graphic,
Yeah.
but some of those designs are gone.
Yeah.
But ElitePOVmerch.com, that's the important part. If you guys want to support us over there, we would definitely really, really appreciate it. And yeah, a lot of stuff going on in the world of AEW. A lot of great stuff. I thought it was a great Dynamite last night, and a lot of bad stuff. So I want to get the bad stuff out of the way. We don't have to talk about it that long, but for the people who are lucky enough to stay off social media, unlike us.
Who does that?
So if you saw a couple days ago an Andrade interview he did in Mexico was either translated or just shown, and he talked a lot of shit about Sammy and their interactions and all the stuff that happened. This led to Sammy saying something online, and then Andrade answered. Sammy says something back. So us at home were assuming, with both of them having matches, Sammy having a match on Dynamite, and then Andrade supposed to have that match with 10 on Rampage, that they would at least be put in a room to squash it, or at least kept separate. That seems to not have happened. There was some type of altercation. At first, the reports are that they both threw punches. Now it's starting to come out that maybe only Andrade threw a punch, and that's why he was sent home, and Sammy still got the match, which sucks too, because I feel like, the people were going to boo Sammy anyway, because people are lames and they just do whatever everybody else says. But it's like, it kind of took away from the show, because like the match is going on and then people are chanting, "You suck" to Sammy, who's not even in the match. But that's besides the point. Jackie, you are the queen of avoiding drama. What are your thoughts on all this craziness that's going on backstage?
It's something, because once again, this is about a month after the crazy fiasco that happened post All Out, which completely overshadowed the great pay-per-view that we had over in Chicago. And now, a month later, we have even more backstage drama with people who clearly don't know how to handle their business behind closed doors. Whether or not this is a bigger issue. You know, we always have the whole dilemma when it first comes out, like, is it a work? Is it a shoot? And how much of it, like, how much of it do we really know from our side of things? Because everything is allegations, everything is speculation and stuff like that. I always err on the side of this. And I've said this 100,000 times on this show. I'm not in the room. I'm not backstage. I don't know what the hell is happening. So I reserve my right to shut my mouth and not go online and, blast people if I don't know 100% of the story. I'm not going to go and blast Sammy. I'm not going to go and blast Andrade because I don't know. I know I did
For
going to
Ed's
pop
sake,
you.
can you say that again?
I'm not going to go blast Andrade online because I don't. Andrade el ídolo.
Ooh.
Andrade el ídolo.
Spicy.
Anyway, that being said, I don't know 100% of the story, so I'm not going to go out there and I'm not going to start slinging mud because it's really none of my business. And to be that opinionated to start slandering people is not my MO. I see a lot of it, and really, like, I see people getting fired up to the point of like saying this person needs to be fired, this person, like, whatever, just completely disrespected the company. And it's like, you're entitled to your opinions, and however you decide to handle it is completely on you. But that's just never been my approach, because when the story starts clearing itself up, I don't want to feel like a jackass the next day when I completely said like, oh, blah, 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 blah about this person. And then it's like the next day it's like, oh shit, well, if this person never really did X, Y, and Z, now I look like a jerk. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if I wasn't there, I really shouldn't have anything to say. And the other thing is, I always say, neither one of these companies, like WWE, AEW, whatever, nobody is signing my damn checks for me to like give enough of a shit about it that I'm going to lose sleep over it. So it's like, let them handle their business. And I'm going to assume that the powers that be are going to handle it the way it needs to be handled. I don't have to agree with everything. And I don't have to look at it like, like I could sit here and nitpick all day and say like, oh, well, if it was me, I would have done it this way. I'm not running the company, so I don't know. But I have to assume that in due time, because it does take time, it will be handled the way it needs to be handled.
Well, my thing is, I think that people are like, whenever this stuff happens with Sammy, I think it's easy to just be like, oh, it's Sammy, right? Which he does take a lot of the blame for it. If you keep being involved in the backstage stuff, then you're just as much as an issue as the people who are swinging at you. But I think as fans, the biggest concern that I'm having, because just like Jackie said, we're not in a room. We don't know what happened. We don't know what's said. And honestly, I don't give a fuck, right? Andrade is one of my favorite male wrestlers, and Sammy is awesome to watch in the ring. I don't give a shit what they do backstage, okay? But my thing is, the bigger issue is, like Jackie said, with the whole thing that happened after All Out, with the stuff with Eddie and Sammy, and now Andrade and Sammy, it's like, you cannot have a culture backstage where it's like, we can just fight each other. That's number one. And number two, and the bigger thing, if these people don't want to be here, let them go, right? AEW was always designed to be the alternative. And we're not going to be like WWE and hold people down. Like, yo, you don't want to be here? Here's your release. You could leave. And I understand people are like, oh, you can't do that because it's like you have all this talent. You can't just give them away. You're not direct competition. You're not on the same night anymore. You're not really affecting each other. You're two separate companies that are both thriving, right? So leave it at that. AEW's numbers, I know their ticket sales are going down, but that's more of them running the same fucking towns, which I don't complain because I live in New York, so it's good for me. But I'm saying, like, you're running the same, like, 4 or 5 cities, your tickets are going to go down. But if there's people like Andrade backstage who want to leave the company, whether it's to go to Mexico or to go back to WWE, let him. Because all you're doing is you're keeping angry people backstage, and that's what WWE did for years. You just hoard talent, and then they leave, and then they're all fucking pissed off. If they don't leave, they're all pissed off. So, like, this... Honestly, the rumor of that Andrade is probably trying to get himself fired, I believe that more than anything, because it's like, he's always been kind of cool. Why all of a sudden now with all this drama, he's tweeting all this stuff? Usually he doesn't tweet at all. So I don't know. But it's just a weird time in AEW, and it was good. I saw somebody earlier reported that like majority of the locker room isn't like happy. It's just that some people that aren't. But I don't know. What do you think, Kyle? You're a nice guy.
I'm a nice guy, but I'm just sick and tired of this crap. Like I'm just annoyed. And I tweeted what I had to tweet. I'm like, instead of everyone just focusing on this, how about we just enjoy what's on TV? Or like people were tweeting about this while AEW was going on. I'm like, okay, but there's other crap happening right now that deserves our attention. And y'all are sitting there tweeting about, Andrade, I'm Team Sammy. Fuck teams. Let them handle their shit. Watch the product really and support the product. I saw Team Andrade. I saw a tweet and I blocked them instantly. It was like, good morning, I'm on Team on. It was like, good morning to Team Andrade. I'm like, nope, block, see you later. Don't want to deal with your shit. Don't want to see your shit in my timeline anymore. Don't even know who it was. Right. I just went click mute button. Anyways, it's just like it's tiring, right? As like a wrestling fan, that you're watching this product and you're trying to enjoy the product, but then all this shit is happening at the same time. What's not helping is, and I see it more in other people too, that they're not enjoying it. What's not helping is you going on Twitter and answering every other person about this situation and tweeting out your crap on it while Dynamite's happening is why you're not enjoying yourself. If you just ignore it, let them handle their shit and enjoy the product that's happening in the show that's happening right now, you'll be okay. I was fine. I forgot about it, and I just enjoyed Dynamite last night, and I had a hell of a time watching Dynamite last night. But to talk about the situation a little bit, clearly AEW needs a social media person to handle. Like they need someone to handle this, because clearly, WWE's got the people in place that stops this stuff from happening, right? And the fact that their tweets are still up is concerning as well. So they clearly need someone to step in and handle stuff like that. And you know what? I know like people can be talented, right? There are talented wrestlers, but if you have someone that's had multiple occasions that this stuff's happening with, you might have to look to letting them go, or else this is going to happen again. Sammy's had multiple opportunities. I'm not trying to cancel him here. I'm just speaking from the outside here. From what I've seen, he's had multiple times where he's been in trouble with this company. It might be time to say, hey, if you can't smarten the F up, we're going to have to look to let you go. Plain and simple. You're talented as hell. We'd love to have you, but if you're going to keep causing shit, you caused shit with Eddie Kingston. You're caused shit with Andrade. We sent you for wellness training a while back, a year or two ago, right? So this is his third offense. Like, why isn't it the talk happening? Why didn't he get sent home? Regardless of what side of the story is true or what story was true, both of them should have been sent home. Regardless, they both should have been sent home just for the tweet. You had Jake Hager there in a bucket hat. Why didn't you put him in a match? Yeah, the main event was the main event the way it was. Like Sammy not being in that main event didn't do anything. It has nothing to do. Like Sammy has nothing to do with the storyline. So if he's not in it, why the hell didn't he get sent home? Like it didn't make any sense that he was there. Honestly, it shows favoritism because, it was a bad look. It was a very bad look. Not just that, but I'm a big Ty Mello fan, obviously. So you see their wedding picture, see their wedding video that they put up. Tony Khan is in there, so it's are you clearly you're friends with them? So it's are you giving Sammy favoritism? And Issa's saying in the chat, read the room, right? Kyle was texting this to us last night. Read the room. If you know everything that's going on, and Tony Khan is just like us. He's a fan. He's on social media way too much in all of our opinions. But people aren't happy about this situation and they're blaming, regardless of what happened. You don't let Sammy get the pin at the end. Yeah, or you don't put him in the match. Even if you don't send him home, you take him out of the match. Yeah. You had everyone else from the JS literally there. Yeah. Anyone could have replaced him because Sammy has nothing to do with the story. Yeah, and you could have been Sammy got attacked backstage, you know what I mean? Or, he hurt himself training or something. I don't know. So they could have made something up. But the fact that, they let him go out there and the fans knew, that was a bad look too, because the fans shitting on Sammy all match took everything out of that match. Like, I didn't enjoy the main event because the fans were shitting on Sammy the whole time for the reason of what happened literally before Dynamite started. They weren't shitting on him for giving him, natural heel heat. No, they're saying, like, you're, like fuck you, Sammy. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be here. That's the reason why they were booing him.
Yeah.
Like, it was not a good look.
It brings down the match. It was an incredible show.
It derailed it completely.
I mean, listen, it's something that needs to be done. Kimmy in the chat was saying they need an HR department. I'm sure they have one. They're a giant company. I'm sure they have one, but it's like you need somebody. People were tweeting William Regal. I'm sure Mark Henry is back there. Mark Henry has talked about it on Busted Open about kind of like the backstage things kind of getting out of control. You need somebody back there as a veteran that's not an active wrestler.
Yeah.
That's not Chris Jericho. That's not Moxley or whatever. You need somebody whose literally job is to fucking babysit. Because clearly, a lot of the wrestlers in AEW, if they're not like actually young, they're very immature and they're causing all these problems. And the crazy thing is, like, I know Sammy is clear in day. We can all see it, right? But it's like, I'm sure there's other ones back there who are doing stupid shit too, who are just stirring the pot. And in a couple of months, something will happen. But it's like, we got to like get this under control and kind of figure some things out because there's tons of talent there. So if you have to let people go, you can afford it. Keith Lee wasn't on that show last night. Hobbs, Ricky Starks, there's a ton of people in your company that can easily take the place of a Sammy and an Andrade if, God forbid, you had to let them go. Or if someone like Andrade wants to leave. Like,
yeah. And you know what? Like, it sucks that, and again, I can't go by any story reported because we don't know what actually happened. Like, there's been two sides already, right? I think I've heard like a third version of it. We don't know which one's true. Maybe there's a fourth version that's actually true that we don't know about. If Andrade was pissed, maybe it's an accumulation of just, him over the last couple of months in the booking, and then he got up to a point where he took out his frustrations, and he shouldn't be doing that, but it's weird to think that he's trying to get himself fired. To me, I don't know. That's very, very odd.
It's very unprofessional behavior too. It's like, there's so many ways you could go about it, and it's like, why do you burn bridges at that point? I don't know.
Well, that's what I was saying like earlier. Like, and I was texting you guys about it last night. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm holding a meeting this week on Dynamite, wherever city they're in, and they're in Canada next week, right? Or it's the week after?
Yeah, it's next week.
Yeah.
All right, so obviously you can't do it in Canada because I don't think everybody's going to make that trip. But the next time they're in the States, right, that the Cincinnati show, everyone has to show up at TV. Everybody. If you're contracted by AEW there, you do a big meeting, and in the meeting you go, if you do not want to be here, one-time offer, you're getting released. We're not doing this because even if they took all the talent from AEW, like WWE only has a certain amount of spots that they can use. So they're going to be sitting in fucking catering just like they are here because if you see Triple H has already picked his guys and his girls and moving in a certain direction, and he's booking to Mania, he's booking towards Rumble, he's booking towards all these things. So they might potentially not be happy there either. But the point is, the thing that always made AEW different and special was that the wrestlers, like, you can tell they were happy to be there, and so Adam earlier was saying he thinks that maybe Sammy's life being on a vlog doesn't help the situation. Potentially. You could be 100% right, but in AEW, you have the opportunity to vlog and show that with someone like an Ethan Page, or when Allie used to do her vlogs, Uno used to do his vlogs. Like, it shows how much fun they're having at work. And as a fan, as me, like, I want to watch more because how much fun they're having. But I mean, it is what it is, right? We can definitely move on to the good part.
Yeah. Just plain and simple, just if I can make a last comment.
Yes.
I said it already. Both of them should have been sent home. Plain and simple. Yeah. Just wasn't a good look that one showed up and the other didn't.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. But on a good note, especially considering the shirt Kyle is wearing. So on last night's episode of Dynamite, the women, even though their segment was still on after 9 o'clock, but
8:58, I timed it.
Throughout the show, 9. They had one promo in the first hour, but they had a ton of promos. And they had the great trios match. Yeah. It was. And then they have a match on Rampage that a lot of people, including myself, definitely myself, are looking forward to. But it's like, I think they did an exceptional job last week. Kyle on the show said that, let's make a statement and let's push this in the right direction. And they're running full speed in that right direction. So, Kyle, how does it feel that your girl Saraya is actually cleared for action because she got physical in the ring last night?
I was very excited for everything leading up to that because of, and I tweeted, I'm like, holy crap. So we're going in the right direction. If this is the way the women's division is going to be going from now on, I'm fine with it. Yes, I still kind of want to see 1 or 2 segments if they're going to do multiple segments a night, at least in the first hour. But this is a start. We got a great start here, and we look what they did. They started. I know they started. Technically, it was 9:00, but anyways, it was a trios match, which we don't see a lot of women's trios match, especially the ones that are stacked like this. 2, they all got their entrances, which is crazy, except for Britt, which is hilarious, but whatever. She came out with Reba and Jamie Hayter, but I was gonna say, yeah. So they got their full entrances. The match was fire. It got a lot of looted time. It almost got, I'm pretty sure 10. It was close to the 10-11 minute mark, and they got a lot in for this match, which was fantastic. And then we got after. So not only did they put over each woman in that match, and each one got their alluded time in the match to showcase what they can do. And, big ups to Willow Nightingale, ended up getting the final pin, which is really big for her. And I know there's a lot of fans that are behind her. So this is a good look for her. We got the furtheration of the story between Saraya and Britt. So the seeds were planted, obviously, here tonight again for Full Gear. Britt bringing up the question of, right in the beginning of the show, the one promo she had, saying that she knows the quote unquote, it's quote unquote doctor. She says she knows the doctors that deal with that, and they didn't clear Saraya, which is, what, and the commentators were even like playing into it. They're like, oh, Tony's like, I don't know what doctor she knows, but
yeah.
But yeah, then she got physical. They both had like a good beat down. She threw a super kick. It's a good sign, and I know what they're doing here. They're going to be playing this angle all the way up to the pay-per-view of I can't even talk. Playing this angle up to the pay-per-view of oh my god. It's like, why am I stumbling over my damn words
He's
here?
too excited. He's too
You're nervous
excited.
because you're talking about your girl.
Calm down, Kyle. All right.
Deep
They're
breath.
playing the angle of, is she cleared up to the pay-per-view?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk slow motion like this for the rest of the podcast. Do a little NPR for y'all.
But no, it's super exciting because, there's always the fear that they signed her maybe assuming that she would get cleared eventually, and who knows where that could be. But, if you're doing, pull away brawls in the ring, that means you're able to do action, right? Because I know when she debuted, she didn't touch any of the women, and they got out of the ring when she got in it. So people noticed that too.
It's the story, right?
Yeah,
like
which is a great storytelling. But there was always a fear, like, oh shit, maybe she's not cleared, and they brought her in just because they wanted to get the pop, or maybe have her be a GM or general manager on TV, or booking the division or something, a producer. But like, this is so much better. Obviously, we see the seeds, like Kyle said, for Full Gear. Hopefully, we get that. That would be incredible. But yeah, Jackie, what do you think about the whole Saraya women's segment stuff?
I think it's great because we have been historically pretty damn critical of the women's division in AEW on this show. I typically am not really pro multi-person matches, only because I feel like it's like a bunch of people just like kind of shoved together just for the sake of getting shit in. But I think in this case, it's great because it allows to showcase a bunch of women at the same time that otherwise maybe wouldn't have gotten TV time, especially for the fact that you have somebody like Penelope that is returning off of an injury, and she gets the opportunity to not really fade into the background too much, and she's getting a chance to be showcased. She looked freaking great in that match also. Willow Nightingale, I love everything about Willow. She passes the vibe check 150%. Her energy is freaking great. I love the fact that she got the pin in this match. Like, I legitimately celebrated for her because it just like it feels like extra special for her to get the win. I really appreciated the fact that even though they are pushing the storyline between Britt and Saraya, they had them at ringside, but they were not overshadowing
they weren't the
the
focal
match.
point. Yeah.
They weren't the focal point until the very end where they needed to tell the story. And then they had that brawl, which was done fantastically, but nothing overshadowed the match. My only critique.
Oh God.
And this is like minor.
No.
No. It's minor nitpicking. Is I love the fact that they're doing the multi layered of storytelling. There you have Willow going after Jade now. You have the storyline with Saraya and Britt, but the third party and somewhat an afterthought is you have your women's champion, Toni Storm, and she is the least focused on person in this equation. So I just hope that she does not become an afterthought and that they do push storylines for the women's champion still, while simultaneously pushing these other storylines and continue to do these multiple angles for the women while still pushing for the women's champion.
No, you're right, because I kind of thought that too, and I think it's tough to tell because we can sit here and go, okay, let's hope they do something next week. Well, we're going to another country next week. Basically, I know it's right next to you guys, but we don't know if everybody's making the trip. We don't know what the visa issues are like for people. I know Canada is very strict on the vaccine thing, so I don't know if everybody's vaccinated in AEW.
And you can't have, like, if you have a felony on your record, you can't travel into the country. So
there's going to be a lot of
can't
people
go to Canada
off.
then.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Wow. Hey, yo. Okay.
Just
anyways,
kidding.
If loving FTR was
your mom's in the chat, damn it.
Lock her up. Lock Jackie up.
Your mom's in the chat. How dare you? Mama POV, do you know about this?
She was with me.
You both robbed the bank. Okay.
Yeah. No, they robbed Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh, that's why they're closed.
All this FTR merch.
That's why they're closed. You see,
you see her shirt that she's wearing right now? That wasn't.
Yeah, she stole that.
She just stole a bunch of shirts.
You criminal. Anyways, yeah. So if it might not happen next week, it could happen the week after once they get back into the United States and everyone can travel within the states. So, yeah, I think they will. I think we're gonna get a story out of this. There's probably someone out of this, really. And you look at the other side of it. I mean, yeah, there's the Will Nightingale and Jamie. I don't know if they'll play into that being like a number one contenders feud for the AEW World Championship. Someone brought up a really cool thing, though, and I know she's not on the Dynamite or Rampage, but she's been on Dark a lot, and her record is insane. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Abaddon's like 30-2 or like 32-2, and I'm like, holy crap. Someone tweeted like, Tony Khan, what are you doing with this girl?
Yeah.
Why isn't she getting booked? Oh man, and I caught the recent Dark with her. I like her new look, her new like she kind of changed up the zombie look a little bit with her hair and the eye contact, creepy as shit.
But did she change it up enough that you are willing to meet her?
No, that's never.
That opportunity ever presents itself.
No. If she was on Zombified, see what I did there. She
you mark it. You fucking mark. Oh, Kimmy, you're meeting Abaddon next week. Nice.
No, you don't got me, Kimmy. No. Stop it.
Kimmy, we're getting her to record a video. Like, hey Abaddon, say hi to my friend Kyle.
No. Anyways.
Kyle. She just says Kyle's name at the end.
What did you think of it, Phil?
I met Sue Young, and she scared the living shit out of Brittany, which was fucking hilarious. Because she was in full undead bride or whatever, and then when you take a picture with her, she was like they had like a handler, and he was like, oh, hold her like the chain that was attached to her neck, and when Brittany went to grab it, she went ha, and Brittany was like, oh no, and walked away.
I think they do got to feature, I think, Abaddon more into like the presentation they do. Like if you watch her dark matches, what they do in the matches is great.
Spooky season. I think the last time Abaddon had a match on Dynamite. So it is spooky season. All right.
Yeah.
Book Abaddon. Whatever they're gonna call it. Halloween. Halloween. Fright Night spooktacular.
I promise
Dynamite.
nobody has been drinking on this episode.
Yeah, I don't drink, so I don't know why I said Halloween.
You met Sammy, you can meet Abaddon. Yeah, Sammy was something, all right.
Sammy was nice to us,
but
Sammy's always been cool to me, so I don't shit.
What did you think of it?
Me?
The whole women's
Listen,
thing.
I loved, like you said, the fact that the Brit promo in the first hour kind of planted that seed of like, wait, is Saraya not cleared? Like, because Brit be saying some truthful shit sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
she be going like off the cuff. So like, oh, maybe that's their way of like giving Brit the heel heat of like saying the truth. But then it ends up being false, which I think is great, right? I thought the women's match was incredible. I thought it was so much fun. Like Jackie said, I love that Willow got the pinfall because it sets up the stuff with Jade. And I understand, like, we're talking about Abaddon and getting a shot. Yo, can I get a Toni Storm versus Penelope Ford feud? Right? Even if it's just a couple of weeks, because since Penelope's come back, she's looked exceptional in the ring. And I know a lot of people like to talk about the Acclaim's rise to fame, and we're definitely going to get to their segment next. But, like, as far as homegrown talent, like, Penelope has been here since day one.
Yeah, her and Kip.
And she has exceeded all expectations. Because when they first signed her, it was like, all right, she's just going to be Joey Janela's manager. Just like they were in the indies. She'll do some crazy hardcore spots, maybe get put through a table. But who cares, right? She's not really that good of a wrestler. Now, you need to book her in a title feud because she is incredible. I love that Kip came out with her. There was like 67 people ringside. I'm here for it. Like, let's get everybody TV time in one segment. It was awesome. And then also, like, the other thing I want to mention is we saw a backstage promo with Madison Rayne and Sky Blue, and then Ty Mello and Anna Jay, which I have been complaining for so many weeks, especially last week when I shitted on that show. All the women's division, and then you don't have two of them come out in Ty and Anna. But now you're kind of separating them, hopefully, for the time being of like, hey, we're still JAS, but we're going to compete in the women's division.
I'm convinced they're watching.
Match on Rampage.
I'm convinced they watched the damn show.
I hope they were.
Like, everything we talk about, it gets changed the next week. Like,
listen, then I'm going to keep talking my shit because there's a lot of things I still want to get changed, right?
I want my face in these turnbuckles. I want my face on the barricade.
Yeah, please. I want front row seats in Canada for my man Kyle. You made him wait long enough. I want Kenny and the Bucks back. But it's like, I love that, you know, they're showing different dynamics and they're not hiding people's weaknesses. They're showing it, but they're showing it as a strength. So when they eventually grow, it'll be better. Like in the promo, you know, Ty and Anna are like talking to Sky Blue about, oh, your charisma. And then she's like, yeah, you're right. I do got to work on my personality or whatever. But like, you got to work on being a wrestler. And you're like, oh, that's a cool kind of dynamic and stuff like that. Like, it's and you're right, Adam. Phil's always gonna talk his shit, bro. That's the Eddie Kingston. I'm sorry.
That was the first time I heard Sky Blue talk in AEW.
Me too. Sure. Yeah, and like it's awesome because she wrestles on Dark and Elevation. So it's like, let's start utilizing these people and let's give Rampage, the women's matches that happen on Rampage, a little more stakes. Let's kind of tease them on Dynamite and get to this. And then of course, like, you know, Jackie mentioned Willow Nightingale and Jade for Battle of the Belts that is happening after Rampage this week. Like, that's awesome. Let's see what we're going to get out of this. And if Willow beats Jade, that's crazy because, I mean, to think she's the one to beat Jade, but anything can really happen. Maybe this
so is Rampage 2 hours?
It's live for 2 hours. The second hour is Battle of the Belts.
Okay, so it is a 2-hour show.
Yeah, and they're both live, which is what's cool.
Oof, Maron.
Yeah, that's gonna be a late night.
Yeah,
late night.
What's
but
weird?
It's fun. They're finally moving in the right direction with the women.
Yeah. What's weird about next week though? The Rampage in Toronto is on a Thursday, but it ain't live.
Really?
Yeah, it's taped. It's gonna be shown on Friday though.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh,
Big oof.
okay.
Very
Maybe
interesting.
they couldn't get the venue.
I don't know. It's very odd, but like, and the tickets are dirt cheap right now, and I really want to go to the Rampage, but I'm not too sure yet. I may go.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Listen, Ascended Rights. I want Ty as women's champion. What else do you want? Of course I want that, right? I don't care if she's champ for 10 years and everyone hates her. I want it, and I want it now.
And she got to come out like that photo behind you. She got to come out looking like that exact entrance again.
This photo right here, if you guys should be watching live when we do this, twitch.tv and then YouTube, Elite POV, right?
Good plug.
I want this, yeah, right? I want this figure. I want this to be a reality with a title around her. Right? She's been here long enough. She has an established fan base. Even though people pretend to hate her, they don't. Because when you're at these shows live and she's doing these the moonsaults and the Canadian Destroyers, people pop and go crazy. Let's have some fun. Let's get that belt off Jade. Let's give it to Willow. Right? Jade can move up. Right? Like Adam's saying, Jade can move up to the world title picture, which I think is needed. Because we saw they didn't really book Thunder Rosa strong at all, which pissed me and Jackie off to the max. And like Toni Storm's the interim champ. Jade would be a lot of fun and would be great as your main women's champion. Oh, dude, Ascended. When Ty wins, I'm going to have to take off work. Because I'm going to be crying.
The code is here in the YouTube chat. Dirt may be cheap, but call it land and it's the most expensive thing in the world. Wow.
That is very profound.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dakota.
But yeah, so I just love the way the women's division is going, and I hope that we keep this momentum up and you book really strong here. We have potentially 3 women's matches that could happen, right? The Jade title match, the Toni Storm title match, and then Britt and Saraya. So that's really cool. You know, and a little thing, hey, maybe we get a Toni Storm going into full gear. Kyle will be very happy about that. We'll all be very
You know what I want to see?
That'd be awesome. Yes.
If Saraya is good to go, she has a great match with Britt. She's 100%. She's feeling good. Have her be the one to take the belt off Jade.
Yep. And then after she beats Jade in the press conference, say she's working
Press
with kids and fucking morons, and then she leaves the company.
Stop it.
Yeah.
She calls out the EVPs.
Yeah. She's like,
Young,
you know what?
Young
This
Bucks,
fucking
here we go
EVP
again.
Yeah, here we go again. If you have a problem with me, Kenny Omega, come to my hotel room. Yo, Mama POV, shout out to you, saying I want your bestie to win the champion. I hope so.
Same.
Man, I hope so. But another great thing that happened, and honestly, and I'd love to get your guys' thoughts on this. As you know, we've all watched AEW from day one. You know what I mean? Exactly. Kyle's doing the hand gesture, right? National Scissoring Day. We're all doing it. Kyle doing a clip of us doing it together. But I think it's one of the best AEW segments they've ever produced from start to finish. It got everybody over, especially at the end when you had Swerve come out, get that heel heat, and really kind of promote the hell out of a match that, I don't know, 6 months ago, I would have never even thought about wanting. And now I'm like, I need to see Swerve versus Billy Gunn, a.k.a. Daddy Ass. But, Jackie, I know you were the last person to come around with the Acclaim. It took you a very long time, but just like everybody else, you're starting to love the Acclaim. Well, at least I hope so. What did you think of this segment from last night?
The segment was funny as hell. Like, wrestling should be fun. Okay, it's like you know me, like, yes, I love my technical stuff and everything like that. Save it for in the ring, but lighthearted, funny shit has its place also. And this segment brought me so much joy. It was so needlessly silly. It was freaking great. They're so damn over with the crowd. All the scissor me section signs, all the like people had like the cutout scissors that look like legit scissors. They actually made me kind of nervous. I'm like, who the hell has like big ass like
it's curious, like, you're good enough. It's scissoring day. Come on in.
Yeah, it's like they announced that the Scissor Me Daddy Ass shirt is officially the #1 selling shirt of 2022.
Crazy. Right?
Yeah, it's I mean, like the whole thing, like down to the fact that they actually mimicked a Catholic mass. They're like, God. You know, like turn to the person on your left
so much.
and turn to the person on your right and scissor them and peace be with you and with you. And I was
the whole crowd was doing it. The whole crowd.
Freaking dying. And everybody was having fun. Like everybody throwing up the scissors. I mean, like, you know, as conflicted and, you know, opposing as wrestling fans can be, like everybody's always at each other's throats. And as cheesy as it sounds, it's like in that moment, everybody was united and just doing the same shit and just having a freaking blast. And, you know, just respect to them for, again, being that homegrown talent. And, Yes, I took a long time to come around to it. I've always like
Mhm.
freaking shit on freaking Max Caster for being like with his whack ass, weak ass bars and
Nah,
stuff
never.
like that.
You're
Never
just a
weak.
hater.
I
Never
weak.
weak.
Never
Jackie.
weak. You're just a
Weak-ass
hater. You're
bars.
just a
Jesus.
fucking hater.
You're still a hater.
Weak-ass bars.
She's still not fully
Weak-ass
around.
bars.
Nope.
But
Nope.
but I've always said I am an Anthony Bowens girl
Yep.
from the freaking, from the jump. And that just to know what he represents and how vocal he has been about, his representation, it has just been so freaking phenomenal to see him like step out there and just have his moments. So from that perspective of it, pops me so much, and I'm so damn happy for him. And I just again, the whole segment was freaking golden. Swerve, when he came out, the freaking timing of that, what a freaking villain. Perfection.
Oh yeah.
Perfection. And he still manages to go out there and ask whose house, and people still say Swerve's house, regardless of the fact that he freaking interrupted one of the greatest segments in AEW
Ever, yeah.
Dynamite history. He's still over enough that people are still chanting it's Swerve's house.
He's rocking
But,
the heel gimmick. Like
he's effortless. He's so damn smooth with it that it's like he comes out and it's just like it was so from start to finish, it was just a perfect segment. And if y'all were out there hating on it, I don't know what's wrong with you. You don't know. You don't like to have fun. You don't like to have fun. Just say that. Just say that. Because
and
the
cool thing is, right? And Jackie talks about like in a world where wrestling fans all we do is yell at. Cool that we can unite on this. And you think of for how many years now, right? We're talking NWO days of wrestling where everyone, too sweet me, brother. When you're at wrestling shows. I've been in public and people who haven't watched wrestling in years are like, too sweet me, NWO, right? Or when they find out you're a wrestling fan. So in a funny way, it's funny that like this new generation of wrestling fans, or the continued generation for all of us, we have the scissoring now, right? I know it is kind of annoying that people are like, scissor me, right? But like we're leaving Grand Slam. We're leaving Grand Slam, and Jackie, right? You're my witness. Yeah. A lot of people were like, scissor me, scissor me, scissor me. Yeah, in a post-COVID world, it's like, don't touch me.
Yeah,
I don't know
touch
who you
me.
are, but it's like, it's cool.
If someone comes up to me, I'm sorry, but if someone comes up to me and goes, scissor me, I'm not scissoring.
Yeah,
if they're gonna go,
it was a no from me, dog. But like I said, I told you guys in the group text, I'm like, as I was leaving work today, I went to my friend and I'm like, I'm leaving for the day, and I just literally stuck my hand out and I'm like, whatever, and he knew the fucking do the scissoring.
No. If someone's doing that to me, I'm like, buddy, no, we'll shake hands, man. Stop doing that.
Yeah. No. I gotta know the person. Like it has to be like, like we gotta be cool. It can't be just a perfect stranger, but just like the fact that people are doing it within their circles.
We're adding
getting
the
there,
base,
though.
right?
It's not
the bases, like first base is whatever, second, third, what is second base is like kissing, but it's like base like 0.5 is scissoring. You know what I mean?
Kimmy, I'm gonna kick you if you do that to me on full gear. I'm not gonna kick you. Not even you. No.
Scissor you all, baby. Come find me in the wherever we're sitting in 104.
It's
104.
It's slowly. You know what? I gotta have my personal space. You can't be doing if you're gonna come up to me and scissor me.
You are not allowed to get anywhere near Jackie, especially when me and Kyle are around. But you can scissor me all day.
But it has nothing to do with the scissor either. Someone could go up and go, too sweet, brother, and go, I'm not too sweet, and you're gonna do that.
Yeah, keep your
damn fucking tongue in your mouth. What is
too sweet, me, brother?
Yeah, don't do all that.
Like, no,
Adam popped me. We don't scissor strangers. Yo, can we make that a shirt?
We don't scissor strangers.
Please, can we make that a shirt? We don't scissor strangers.
Hang on. You guys talk. I gotta write this down.
Shout out to Adam for that. We don't scissor strangers.
Yeah, let me move my candy corn out of the way.
Gross. Kyle said he was gonna do this.
No. People in the chat. Wait, hold up. People in the chat, while you're here, do y'all like candy corn? Because this is controversial, apparently. Like candy corn, yay or nay? I want to know.
I want it to be a heel. I wanted to see the
Candy
chat
corn
go
is there.
nuts,
Yeah.
and they're going nuts.
Mama POV likes candy corn.
You got one.
So
for Nick.
we've learned two things on this podcast.
That's right.
One, that Mama
Candy
POV,
corn me, elite candy corn me, Mama POV.
Gross. We've learned two things. One, that Mama POV likes candy corn, and two, that Mama POV, I guess, was a witness Jackie committing a felony. So I don't know. This is an eventful podcast this week.
You're amazing. This is candy corn. It's a candy that looks like this. I don't know
It
if they have
doesn't
that
really
in
look
UK.
like corn, but
Yeah, it looks gross. Candy corn is a devil. It's a devil. But yeah, I don't know that it's awesome, and I like that they're showcasing the Acclaimed, and I like that Swerve is getting focused, and we're gonna move on to Swerve and Billy Gunn, which is gonna be fun. But another great match
his
that I
daddy
feel like
asked.
it's daddy ass exactly. Another great match that is further pushing a story along that I feel like not
Luchasaurus
enough
and
I'm talking about. Now, fuck that segment, right? It was cool for what it was. But people need to talk about Hangman versus Roosh, okay? That match was unreal.
I really want to talk about
Luchasaurus.
Luchasaurus and
All right, go ahead.
Fuego del Sol. This
Yeah,
might be
what a
match
great
of the year for me, guys. I think
10-star
this beats the Cody Rhodes Dustin Rhodes match. This definitely beats Pac versus Orange Cassidy. This match was one of the greatest matches we've ever seen in Dynamite history. I can't believe we got that for free on Dynamite television this week. That should be a pay-per-view match. If they had a WrestleMania called Elite Mania, that would be your main event. It was by far the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And speaking of, and then Luchasaurus does exactly that, man. I bet you when he scissors, he goes apples. But anyways, back to the Hangman match.
So yeah, Hangman and Roosh, right? Further booking the story that Kerry has been booking. I mean, Kerry, we've had many conversations about this potential Andrade versus Hangman match, but that might be all thrown out the window. But Hangman and Roosh did happen.
Roosh.
While Jackie fans herself. Kyle, what'd you think about this match?
I thought it was a great match. I can't not watch a Roosh match now because I have to mute his entrance because the whole match I was going Roosh throughout the entire match from start to finish. I couldn't stop myself from doing it. It was bad, but I thought it was a good match. It was a lot better match than I thought it was going to be. Roosh is proven to be a really, really excellent signing so far, and regardless of what they're going to do with Andrade going forward, I don't know what the whole deal with that is. Who knows at this point? But if they're going to keep the Roosh thing, good. I don't know. Do you continue it with Jose? Like, do you keep them together?
Yeah, because I don't know if. I mean, we saw like a backstage promo leading up to this match earlier tonight where they were talking to private, and I mean, Roosh did talk, so it seems like he's a decent talker. But if he needs any help or
if he needs a mic,
until he gets more comfortable, I think Jose the assistant would be great. I mean, the dude did taser a guy,
but this
so
was
like
this was awesome.
Somebody you want around.
And then what we got at the end too with Moxley coming in and sort of saving the day, and then it leads into the promo battle between those two, and Hangman calling him out. Like Hangman called out Moxley, like not only that, like called him out, and like Moxley, it's almost like he had to think of what to say. That's got to be the most Moxley thing, and keep himself safe because everyone's expecting. Okay, well, he said that the Moxley, these two were about to brawl, but they didn't. Like it was.
Kyle, you're on Kerry's shit list over here, saying the match is a lot better than.
What?
Look at it in Twitch chat, bro. Hangman has nothing but bangers.
Okay, I'm sorry, Kerry. Anyways,
and Ascended saying Mox called out all the young.
Yeah, the shit talkers, right? So he kind of made, so that was a way to get out of kind of brawling with Hangman, and basically compared Hangman to. He's basically comparing Hangman to everyone, all these people complaining. Yeah. And saying, like, keep talking. Or what do you say? Or quit talking? To be honest, I forgot exactly what Mox said at the end.
Yeah, what somebody in the chat, right, what the exact line is, because I don't want to say, like, what I think it is and butcher it, because it was, like, a beautiful thing. Yeah. But, Jackie, what'd you think of the match and then the segment afterwards?
The match was great. Roosh is like, he is an intense dude.
A toro
Like
blanco.
the way that he hits is like he hits stiff. Like or the illusion that he's hitting stiff, but like he looks like he's like going in there and he's like really like knocking people around. And he has this affinity. I feel like this is not the first time that he's done it, but like he goes for the cables like to choke people out too. I'm like, this is getting a little vicious. But there was this one spot where Hangman was in the
Vicious.
corner by the turnbuckle,
Mhm.
and he was and Roosh was standing on Hangman's shoulders, and Hangman stood up with Roosh literally standing on his shoulders, and I was like, yo, this shit is freaking getting wild. But no, the match overall was freaking great. Hangman just from day one has been one of those guys that I don't know, like I feel like sometimes people sleep on him when it comes to the overall match quality, but like Carrie said, he just like he produces bangers all the time, and this was no different. But at the very end, I wasn't expecting that whole segment with Private Party coming out and then Mox of all people coming out to
Yeah.
diffuse the situation, and the two of them going face to face. And Mox is the most brilliant person at selling a match. And him going back and saying, like, you know, for 3 years, going back to the anniversary of Dynamite, saying, like, for 3 years, you and I have basically fought everybody that there is to fight in this company, but we've basically danced around fighting each other. And now we finally get to go face to face. And basically said, you know, I'm gonna, you know, destroy you in a last man. It's gonna be like a last man standing situation.
It was weird he mentioned. I wonder if that's what they're going towards.
Maybe.
I'm like, is this gonna be the stipulation going into this match? And you know, Hangman being this beloved person, but Hangman, again, he has this tendency to be like, you know, like you're not going to get the last word on me. So as Mox is turning around, he's like, well, if you're so desperate to fight me, then why don't you freaking fight me now? Like, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you want to fight me so damn bad, let's do it now. And that's when Mox had turned around and he basically said, you know, you're a nice kid, but just like a lot of these kids here, your smart ass mouth is gonna get you in trouble.
Yep. Shout out to Adam
Yeah.
and Carrie. Carrie texted me so both of them coming through with that. But that's a great line.
Yeah, and he's like, you know, your smart ass mouth is gonna get you in trouble. Like I said, I'll see you in 13 days and we'll fight there. And I'm like, Mox, the grizzled vet, kind of, you know, coming across like that way, but he just, when he talks, the room just stands still, at least for me. And it's like he has this
Oh.
brilliant way of just selling a match and just
Oh.
making the anticipation go up. I love it.
This was a double shot. I just got it. This is a double shot. Not only had the people recently, but isn't this a shot to Hangman Page, who was talking shit about CM Punk? Didn't he talk shit in that one promo?
Yeah.
And that's what set off CM Punk and
Yeah.
that whole thing.
It's a double shot. Yeah. Moxley shot from the hip. You know, he was like, oh, Hangman probably caught him off guard. Okay. All right.
Oh man.
All right.
I don't know. It threw me off. 'Cause I'm like, okay,
Alright.
Moxley's gonna drop the belt and they're gonna go nose to nose. I'm like, oh, I've never seen Moxley do something like this before. Like where he talked his way out of not fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
And then of course they added the little, you know, the little nugget, if you will, of MJF watching from backstage with his
Yeah.
little his casino chip. So it's like, you know,
Which
again,
is still not
he's-
confirmed if it's like any time. Like
No, it
Money
is.
in the
It
Bank.
is. Tony Khan
So
confirmed. it.
like Money in the Bank anytime.
No, it's not Money in the Bank.
Okay.
It's like I'm gonna use it to fight this match. But what he didn't confirm is could he kayfabe say it in the beginning of the show and be added to like at the end of the show? You know what I mean? Like I don't think it has to be like on Friday, 9 days from tonight. You know, but so it is what it is. But that segment was phenomenal. And speaking of MJF, before we start to talk about MJF and Yuta and the great match that was, yo, shout out to MJF. I know that he went away on bad circumstances and him being a little
I know where you're
crybaby
going
about
with
his
this.
money,
Yeah.
but the dude got into incredible
Yeah.
fucking shape, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
he was in shape before, but it is different. Like it's almost like they're like, yo, we're putting the world title on you. You need to look like a champion. And he was like, cool, I'm gonna go get fucking shredded, and I'm gonna finally level out my tan. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the other big thing of like it started. It's
I think he might have
now.
He might have went and actually tanned, so using
Yeah,
spray
tan for real, you know.
And he
but so
25 pounds of muscle he confirmed he put on.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and he got cut.
Yeah,
he got cut, man.
Yeah.
And they did tease at the end of the match.
Yeah,
you know, like a little baby face thing. And listen, and I know, especially people like me, I'm like, MJF is a heel. He's a heel. He's a heel. It's what makes him great. It's one of the coolest things in wrestling that he could be like this old school heel. But even Jericho said it in the press conference after All Out, and a lot of people don't talk about it because all you talk about is the Punk stuff. But it's like, MJF is one of the biggest baby faces in wrestling. I know he's able to get a crowd to boo him, but when he first comes out, that pop is massive.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know what this means, if they're kind of shades of gray with him, seeing where it could go. But if you have someone as influential in AEW, someone who has Tony Khan's ear, is saying MJF is going to be a big baby face, whether he wants to or not, maybe these were the beginning seeds of that. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about it, Kyle? I'll start with you.
It's interesting. It threw me off guard. I'm like, oh, are they teasing maybe BCC possibly? Like that would be a throw off and an interesting turn if you were to join the Blackpool Combat Club, which is crazy. I know people are like, oh, well, he's a mega heel. You can't do that. I'm like, well, Brian.
I love your impersonation of wrestling fans.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bryan Danielson comes out of the heel tunnel every week. So like, literally every week. But I think the cool thing too here was William Regal coming off commentary and bringing out the power of the punch, like the brass knucks. Yeah, like that gift turned into a meme so quick today. I saw you and Carrie doing it. I'm like, okay, I got to get in on this.
Yeah, Carrie did it. I had to do mine too, and then you did yours. I didn't see Jackie do it. She's not a real fan.
No. I need an FTR referenced tweet with that William Regal gif, Jackie, please.
Oh, so y'all can roast me like
you got to tweet. This we got to do. You got to tweet when someone calls me the FTR girl. Yeah, well. When someone,
we got to recreate that moment in there, but in Nux, it's Chancla.
Yeah, I got to change the I got to change the caption. When someone thinks they're meeting FTR first at a meet and greet.
Yes. Oh, you think you getting first in line? Nah, bro.
We'll see about that.
Y'all are not right.
You don't know who you're talking to.
Haters, hating ass people.
Listen, I'll get on myself when someone thinks they're big. Right? Yeah. Remember when Kyle used to be like, "Yo, I like your first," and I was like, "Nah, bro, let me put these knucks on real quick." You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, "Oh, you right.
You right."
We're gonna shoot it.
Working or shooting. And Kyle was like, I saw Saraya when she was Brittany Knight in the UK in front of 16 people at her family's.
I was the one.
I shot wrestling with.
I was one of the 15 fans there. You can see me. Yeah. Some dude played me in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The Rock offered me to be in the movie for realism. I turned it down.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to step on any shoes.
Yeah.
If you need to get Chris Pratt to play me, do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. But Jesus Christ. Like a horrible accent, but it's just his voice, but it's so bad. But like, so Carrie in the chat saying him and Wheeler Yuta are actually friends in real life. So she thinks that the post-match thing was just him showing Wheeler Yuta respect and nothing more. That could also be it, right? A kind of a throwaway thing. But as far as the match goes, great way to start off the show. The one thing about AEW with all this drama happening backstage, I think the majority of fans, especially fans who don't watch every week and fans who are more WWE focused and kind of watch AEW here and there, the youth in this company is unreal, right? You have Jungle Boy, Ricky Starks, Will Hobbs,
MJF,
Daniel Garcia, and Wheeler Yuta. And MJF too. I know MJF is young, but he's kind of a main.
Yeah.
Wheeler Yuta is so good. It is ridiculous. And he's so good, you almost forget about it, right? Whenever he's given a chance, he knocks it out of the park every time. And just match-wise, it was unreal, the stuff that they were doing. And I like how they kind of teased their history, and commentary was talking about it and stuff like that, like their long history of being on the indie together. So I don't know, it was just awesome. But Jackie, you're the technical wrestling fan in this podcast, right? And this was a great technical wrestling match. What did you think?
I thought it was a fantastic way to open. I couldn't believe, like, I guess, like, the weird time paradox, they called it out that it's been 129 days since MJF's last match. And I'm like, has it really been that damn long? But yeah, apparently so. But he looked freaking phenomenal. Like unreal shape that he's gotten in. But it's interesting to think about where Wheeler Yuta was, like performer wise, the last time MJF was in a match.
Yeah.
And how far Wheeler Yuta has come. And you know, to have the two of them in this spot, because the opening match is such an important spot in AEW Dynamite TV. And they freaking killed it. There was like a great spot in this match where they were doing like this transition of near falls into a transition of reversals into more near falls. And it was very chaotic, but like organized chaos and really great. And you can tell that the two of them do have that history because they did have a really great chemistry with each other. And I know like a lot of the praise is going to be heaped onto MJF because of the shape that he's gotten into and because of the freaking talented performer that he is. But I'm always going to heap a massive amount of praise onto Wheeler Yuta
Jackie
because
Wheeler Yuta.
Jackie Wheeler Yuta,
Damn right.
baby, my side boo over there. He is something to watch in the ring. He has just come leaps and bounds as he's always been a very great wrestler to watch, but just in terms of the way that he has applied that as a performer and just like tied everything together to be a full package has just been really great to watch. And I think that the two of them really knocked it out of the park. And this was a great way to introduce MJF back in for his first match back. So I thought that it was phenomenal. And then having you know, the whole crisis of conscience when Lee Moriarty came out and he's like, you know, trying to jump Wheeler Yuta and MJF's like, I didn't ask you to do that. He's like audibly saying like, I didn't ask you to come out here. So it's like, you know,
was it Stokely eating an apple? my dude's eating an apple at ringside.
Yeah, like, and he gives him the Dynamite Diamond like to try to hit him, and he's like, he doesn't want to do it. But then I love Regal, like, you know, putting on the brass knucks and being like, oh, you thought. And, you know, like, if people like were saying, like, I had a friend of mine that was like, yeah, but Regal's an old man. Like, why is it that, like, you know, MJF would be scared of him? I'm like, it's William Regal.
It's William Regal,
baby. All right,
William
put some
Regal.
Respect. He isn't just an old man. He's William Regal,
Listen,
and MJF knows better.
William Regal does two things, okay? He's going to flirt with Excalibur, and he's going to fuck somebody up, right? That's what he's going to do.
I wish any human being walking this earth loved me as much as
William
Regal loves
was it on a weekend or before, or was it last week? There was that graphic going around of what would be
over the weekend.
Yeah, what would be your William Regal call out?
Yeah.
The William Regal Excalibur name generator. Oh, that was so great. Shout out to that person.
Oh, that was perfect. But you know what this match was? Like, this is the Dynamite anniversary episode, right? This match basically showcased like what AEW is about. If you were a new fan and you were just tuning into the anniversary episode, and this is your first episode, you saw what AEW was all about, and they produced that type of match. And that match was fantastic. There's a couple standing ovations. They had a really, really great match together. They have chemistry from their past wrestling in the past. So what better way to have those two open the show on an anniversary episode of Dynamite, where Tony Khan said on the radio show, I guess he did it that day or the day before, that this episode of Dynamite is going to show what AEW is all about and what, you know, go back to like what we're known for. So,
yep.
And it kind of, I think it felt like that. It felt like a little bit of the old Dynamites. I know a lot of people always go like they missed the 2019 version of AEW, and I do understand that to an extent. But I think we got a little bit of both. We got like what we're used to now, the newer AEW with a mix of the old. So,
yeah, and kind of speaking of AEW going back to what they used to do so well and kind of got away from for a little bit. It'll be the last match we talk about on Dynamite as we're getting to the end of the show. Wardlow actually fought or defended his title on TV. Finally, right? What would have thought a TV title gets defended
on TBS
TV?
though?
Yeah, on TBS, which is, God forbid we ever
But
get
I'd
Jade
rather
in
have
the
that
ring on
yeah.
TBS. Yeah, whatever.
I know that it's weird how it's reversed. I don't know if that's
it's such a weird thing.
I don't know if that's like a ploy. I mean, it's the same network, so it's not like the networks are going, well, what the hell? No,
Yeah, exactly. Right? Defending the USA title on TNT, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and I know it's a lot of fun to hate on Brian Cage. I know it is. But when Brian Cage is in the ring with someone who's really good, he always puts on great matches. And him and Wardlow had a very fun, big, meaty men slapping meat type of match. I know Big E somewhere shed a tear.
Big E is out there like doing
clapping hands, shedding tears. Right. But the
clapping
match was
them
great.
thighs.
Yeah, clapping them thighs. Right. Exactly. Big E's on TikTok now, which I'm
on
very
over,
excited
Big
for.
E.
Yeah.
Come on over.
He ain't coming over, bro. He's a made man over there.
Come on over.
But dude, the match was awesome. And Wardlow wins, of course, but it kind of really showed his strength, right? Because we see him beating normal guys. To see him beat, Brian Cage, who looks like the real life Incredible Hulk. It was really cool. But Kyle, what'd you think of the match? Any thoughts on it?
You know what? I've seen Brian Cage also before. We've seen Wardlow wrestle before. It's cool to see these two giant guys come together and just, it's always, we're always used to people being smaller than Wardlow, but this was like the first time in a while that like Wardlow stepped up to someone who was like literally a little bit bigger than he was. So it was interesting to see. It's just a shame. And this is my opinion. You guys don't have to agree with me in the chat, but I'm sorry if you're really big Brian Cage fans, but my dude just has like no charisma whatsoever in my eyes. Like
none at all.
Like the promo videos that they did with him did nothing for me, and I'm just like, oh man, it's just all like one tone, and it just does not come across. I don't know what they have to do to make him better and get more charisma. It's just like I was like,
it's something he's always struggled with.
It's not hitting with me, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I wish it did, because then he would be I think he'd be a really big star. It's just he's missing that little bit.
Listen, to me, worse than the charisma, his goddamn haircut beard, bro.
Oh god,
you can't have weird hair and a weird beard. I get that, and that's such a cool nickname, and I praise him for the nickname. But you can't have a crazy beard and crazy hair. You pick one. You have crazy hair. You have a
both.
Normal beard, right? You can't do it. You look like a NBA 2K My Player creation.
Maybe that's what he's going for.
Your ass in the park, right? When you play, anybody who plays NBA 2K. Right? When you go in the park, the dude who busts your ass, he don't look normal. No, he's 7'2". He's dressed like Santa Claus, and you can't fucking stop him. That's what Brian Cage looks like, all right? I'm gonna make a wrestler in a video game. His muscles are gonna be all the way up, right? He's gonna be jacked. He can't turn his head, right? We're gonna put him in these little shorts, weird beard, weird hair. Come on,
he's like
bro.
Zangief from Street Fighter.
and it's like. Bro, I couldn't put any points on his charisma. I used all the points on the muscles.
Yeah.
Jeez, you like stepped on his neck.
I like Brian Cage.
He ain't wrong. We think the same.
Have charisma at all.
He's just boring. Plain simple.
But the one good thing that came out of this match, Jackie. Okay, we've talked this whole show without mentioning this, right? But now we're gonna mention it, right? Prince Nana at ringside. How cool is that? But we see the aftermath beatdown where
wait, can we talk about Prince Nana?
Prince Nana's the man, bro. Okay. Dan Carey's flaming Brian Cage in the chat.
God.
Yeah. Guess what? Brian Cage won't be in Canada. He won't be in the
That's
Canada
why I got the
show.
match over with now.
Yeah. But Jackie, your boys FTR came out, massive pop. They had one of the best matches of the year. To Carrie, who got to see it live. Shout out to her. We'll eventually see it in 2024, I guess, when New Japan wants to put it up. But your boys FTR were there. Tell me how you felt about it.
I felt great. I mean, like, they're giving me crumbs at this point with the FTR sightings on Dynamite. It was like all of, maybe a minute. But the pop that they got, like, as soon as that, as soon as their music hits, the crowd freaking completely erupted. I was not expecting to see them, but it's always a joyous moment for me, obviously, when they're when they're on Dynamite.
Is that the Ghostbusters theme?
No, we're not doing that again. I'm always freaking overjoyed to see them. I will be completely over the moon, overjoyed when I get to see them again in an actual tag team match on Dynamite. I will reserve my complaining and whatnot in terms of that, because I do be seeing some very interesting takes on social media when it comes to that subject in particular. They apparently the match over in the UK that they had for New Japan was unbelievable. Carrie, who is in the chat, the FTR versus Aussie Open match was just, she said it blew her mind completely.
And listen,
So I
to
can't wait
interrupt
to
Jackie
see
for
it.
1 second to what she's like kind of, treading lightly on, I'm gonna go on it. We keeping receipts on all you motherfuckers who are on Twitter like FTR ain't as good as blah blah blah. We see every single fucking tweet and we keeping those receipts, because when they're back on AEW TV and they're winning this and they're winning that, and you all want to put your fucking 8-star FTR shirt on when they beat the Acclaim to win that belt, which I don't think it mattered. They've already been AEW champions. This besides the point.
That wouldn't be an 8-star.
Don't let the facts ruin a good rant, okay? All I'm saying is we keeping receipts. All right, because don't act all different now they're not on TV, and it's not the cool thing to do to say FTR is the greatest tag team of all time. It's not cool anymore. But for us here, it's always cool, because FTR is always cool, and they are the greatest tag team of all time, even if they never wrestle again. So I'm keeping receipts, and Jackie's keeping receipts and giving them to me, okay? Because she's FTR girl 2689, I'm 2690. All right. That's how we do things over here.
And you know what? Spike TV. Seriously need to get your FTR shirts? Well, I'm going to give you some bad news. You're not going to be able to go to shopaew.com. Unfortunately, they are all sold out. You're going to have to go to JackieRodriguez.BigCartel.com. She's bought them all, and now she's reselling them online.
Yes. And if you pay
at a premium.
At a premium. And instead of paying that $5 extra to get the soft version, you have to pay the $20 extra.
Yeah, they get the Jackie version, the cutout version.
You get the Jackie cut.
And you get
just pay the $20 extra and prove that you're not online freaking complaining about people just wanting to be booked fairly on a TV show, because God forbid anybody advocates for themselves and actually wants to work on the for the company that they actually work for. But that means that they're complaining and they're whining and they're crybabies. But when other people do it, it's that they're actually trying to like fairly advocate for themselves and good for them. And it's okay for them to do it. But then when other people do it, it's, it's not. But, but go off.
Yo, I knew if I just poked Jackie a little bit, I could get it out.
No, because honestly, if you could sit here and tell me that it's like, I don't understand. They have 3 sets of belts, so that means that they're fairly booked, because they get booked all the time because they have 3 sets of belts. That doesn't make any freaking sense. It doesn't make any damn sense. You can have 3 sets of titles and never be on a freaking TV show. Having 3 belts does not mean you are booked. So don't try to equate the two.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
One has nothing to do with the other.
Yep.
You can have 3 sets of belts and never be on freaking TV again.
Okay, with Jackie, episode 1.
Oh God, Jesus, Lord, I'm sorry.
Listen, Jackie's telling the truth. Jackie's telling the truth, and guess what? I don't give a fuck if they had the World Championship too. Put them on TV every single week. I want a promo. I want a match. I want them. Let them do commentary, right? Let them flirt with Excalibur for once. Give me all of it. We have gotten 37 fucking segments of Jericho a night for the last 3 years. You can give me 1 FTR segment a week.
It doesn't even have to be every single week.
No,
it just has to but it's just at the same time, it's like, don't equate the two. If you want to say like, oh, well, you can't be on TV all the time because there are other people that, have been there for longer that are still fighting for TV time. It's an oversaturated roster and whatever. If that's your argument, then fine. But don't say like, oh, well, you're being booked just fine because you have 3 sets of titles. That one has nothing to do with the other. That's all I'm saying. So that take basura, garbage.
Basura in the garbage.
Trash.
And that concludes the first ever episode of Escuela with Thank you guys. And for all who attended, thank you for being a part of the debut show of that. Should make that a Patreon show.
I'm so sorry, but
I'm not sorry. This is why I wanted to poke the bear and have it come out.
You're forgetting.
Right? The chancla. So side note.
Anyway.
Have been debating about this. Should FTR go for the AEW? Yes. Absolutely. They should. And I know we are loving everything that the Acclaimed are doing. But listen, I'm not saying FTR has to win the tag titles, even though that would be incredible.
So speaking of, is that leading to a rematch? Like, what's going on? Like, they're still continuing this storyline with Swerve. Like,
no, I think they're kind of pairing off because remember Keith was cool with the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, and Swerve isn't. So I think the Swerve and Billy Gunn match ringside, and they'll kind of spin that off. And I should have said this during the Acclaimed segment, but Swerve needs to be champion. A big deal champion. This isn't a shot at the All Atlantic title, but it doesn't fucking matter until they show me that it matters, until Ethan Page wins it eventually. But listen, I need Swerve to be TNT champion, or I'm going crazy. I want Swerve to be world champion by the end of 2023. Working or shooting. This is what I want. The dude is absolute money. And then you Acclaim versus FTR will be a lot of fun, right?
I don't know when they're going to do that.
Cash Wheeler listens to J. Cole. I want to see Cash.
It's a lot of belts to bring to the ring. It's a lot of belts.
Kenny did it.
Yeah, but Kenny also were carrying single belts. He wasn't carrying a pair of belts each one.
Oh, well.
That's a lot of belts.
There's 2 of them, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of belts.
Put one around each of Cash's thighs.
Yeah.
They'll barely make it, but they'll make it. Right? I love how Jackie looked at the camera.
I'm just saying,
who are they facing?
If they need a manager to carry some of the belts, I'm available.
Who are they facing at Battle of the Belts again? They're facing.
Oh yeah, so we can transition.
Yeah,
we could transition to this as a way to end the show. So as a preview for what's happening on Friday, first Rampage, we have Death Triangle versus the Dark Order on the anniversary of when Brody Lee signed. Right? Is that what it is? Yeah, it's the anniversary of when Brody Lee signed, debuted, not signed.
I thought it was the anniversary of his last match.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
It's not debuted.
The anniversary of his last match. Yeah. Then we have Blackpool Combat Club, which is Mox, Yuta, and Claudio versus Roosh and Private Party. Then we have Tony Nese and Josh Woods versus the Varsity Blondes, which would be cool to see the Varsity Blondes on TV. And then we have the match we talked about earlier, Madison Rain and Sky Blue versus Ty Mello and Anna Jay. And then, hold on, let me pull it up. For Battle of the Belts,
there's 3 matches,
which is happening right after. We have, Pac is doing 2 matches. We have Pac versus Trent Beretta for the All Atlantic title. And then we have Jade Cargo versus Willow Nightingale. Then we have FTR versus the Gates of Agony, which is officially the first time, tag team-wise, we've seen Jackie's team, Jackie's boys, go against one of Kyle's guys. Because, of course, Khan is in the Gates of Agony, and Kyle is romantically attached to Khan.
I really hope that this man has.
He ain't the only one.
The complete. I hope he has a complete package, man. Like I hope he's got the mic skills. Okay, hope he's got the mic skills. Like he's got the look down pat, man. He looked great. And he's fantastic in the ring.
He has a complete package too. You know
what I mean? What if they dethrone FTR in a big shock?
No way. That'd be weird.
Who are they gonna lose the Ring of Honor belts to then?
Not these. Listen, no disrespect, but not these guys.
And the Ring of Honor TV might be a long way from what I've read recently. So
yeah, with Tony Khan said,
what the plan is with the streaming service, right? That streaming service that Warner Brothers is trying to get together with Discovery and get kind of combine and everything. That might not be till next summer, they're saying. So I don't know if they're going to continue rolling this, like carrying a Ring of Honor alongside them for another 8 to 10 months. Like that's
so. A lot of people in the chat are saying, should they? Right? Here's my honest thoughts. Should they? No. But the way Ring of Honor titles have been, they might.
There's an easier way to do it though. You put it on YouTube until then. Like I suggested before, like they get rid of either one of Dark or Dark Elevation, and you replace with Ring of Honor on YouTube until that that streaming service is up and running. Just get them off the AEW TV, like Dynamite and Rampage. I'm sorry, it's great that they're on there, but get this Ring of Honor shit going. Like, get some storylines going in that. You have the facilities. I mean, you can do it from that facility you run Dark Elevation from, or Dark, that studio in Florida. You can tape a bunch of tapings there at once, right? So
yeah.
True.
Do that, and it'll Dark and Elevation are kind of the same thing. It's just Dark is taped in Florida, and Elevation is the stuff that happened before. But just shift it, right? All the tapings that Kyle said, it's doable. You can kind of figure out. But like I said, the way these Ring of Honor titles have been, they are just like we build your feud 10 minutes before you have a match, and then the changes hands. So it's like, I mean, Jericho and Claudio was a week before. I think Claudio and Gresham was like 2 days before. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's possible. I mean, by law, I have to like the Gates of Agony because they have a Puerto Rican on their team.
I know he doesn't want it, but I seriously would have just done Ring of Honors or development.
By law.
By law, we have to.
I know he's not.
I don't
going
make the
to,
rules, Jackie.
But
I think FTR should win because I think FTR. I want the pitch. And then you could take him off of him. It's like Kenny, right? Remember when Kenny had I just want the picture of him with all the belts, with FTR with all the belts, so we can go, that's great. Save it to my phone. Jackie makes it her screensaver on everything she has. And then that's it. We move on. Right? I that's what I get signed when I meet them eventually. Right?
Yep.
So it's like, this is what we do. Right? I think, actually, you know what, Kyle? I know what I'm going to have FTR sign when I...
What?
Jackie.
I got this to sign.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Jackie right here behind me on this.
Yeah.
He's gonna say Dax and Cash.
You could have, if you would have just agreed to come to Brooklyn.
Listen, I work on Sundays.
You want to be a player hater and not come with
on
me.
Sundays.
Yeah,
I want to go.
Listen here, FTR Sundays. Girl. Listen here.
All right. I work on Sundays. It's hard to get off. All right.
Come to Brooklyn.
Listen here.
I hate going to Brooklyn. All right. Let's talk about that.
You live in New York.
I do. I do. Maybe I will, but I won't. I'm not kidding. I can't.
Don't lie. Don't lie to me.
I can't afford it. I'm going to Disney on New Year's. I can't afford it.
All right.
Ascended, me and Jackie are going to actually fight one day. I don't know when it's going to happen. Okay. A lot of V triggers were thrown in Chicago. She dodged them all, but one time she's not going to dodge them. We're gonna have to come to blows, right? We almost came to blows when Jackie said that when Kyle comes to the States, she's going to get him Cuban food, and we almost had a fist fight in Grand Slam. Just saying.
Kyle, just defend me, please.
Yeah.
LAW, baby.
Great episode of Dynamite this week, and I can't wait. I wouldn't even scissor any of you if you did that to me. Not happening.
The next time we scissor Kyle, Jackie, we gotta go.
I'll never be your friends again. I'll quit the show, damn it.
Well, yeah, that's it. So for the show this week, like we said, a lot of great matches on Rampage and Battle of the Belts. Remember, it is live, and it is so basically it's a 2-hour live show, which is a lot of wrestling to have from 10 to midnight, right? Everybody loves the Acclaim. Scissor me.
Did you stop it?
Jackie, let everybody know where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter at LoveYouMake24, and you can follow me on Instagram at JaxTheDraw POV.
Kyle, let them know where they can follow you, and more importantly, let them know about AEW.
Well, you guys can follow me at All Elite Kyle on Twitter. I don't know if you want to follow me on Instagram because I don't Insta, so but there it is for you if you want to follow me there. I do run EFED alongside Ant. Ant will be back next week. He's currently in Disney right now, like a mark. But yeah, it's a really cool thing that we do. Ant. It's a really cool E-Federation, guys, we run on Twitch. really fun. Guys, come check it out, twitch.tv/Alliance Wrestling Fed. We were usually live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So come check it out. It's just a fun time. And if you guys have not come around and seen that, trust me, it's awesome. We use the game WWE 2K22. We have our own company. There's a lot of people in this community that are part of it. They have their own characters. These two have their own characters. People cut promos. There's active storylines. It's really, really cool, guys. It's really fun to watch. Even if you just don't want a character, you want to come watch and have a good time, it's awesome. So twitch.tv/Alliance Wrestling Fed. But yeah, other than that, every week I'm like, hey, I got to sit down and like think of like stuff to pump out for our Patreon page. And I always get sidetracked with life and other stuff, and then I'm like, damn it, we come back to the next week. I'm like, hey, this is gonna be the week. I'm trying my best. We're trying our best to get more content. Let us know what you guys want,
and that's right? We want to know what you guys want.
I do have ideas. Like me and Jackie, I get that show going again. That was really fun to do.
Kyle.
There was the games coming out. The AEW games coming out in the next month or two.
Fight Forever's coming out.
So I'll be doing some video game content for I gotta play the game first and see what it's all about. But yeah. Anyways. It's also tough as well because like I want to pump more Patreon content and I get busy in life. That was announced a little earlier. So yeah, condolences to the family of Sarah Lee, who was I guess a 2015 Tough Enough WWE contestant who passed away at the age of 30.
Yeah,
which is incredible.
Sad news,
it's sad. But yeah, that's what's going on. And so guys, stay tuned. That's all I got to say.
So if you guys want to follow the show, it's at Elite POV on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to follow me, it's on Twitter. You can follow me at ScissorB.
Would you stop?
Thank you guys for watching another episode of Elite POV. And just remember to scissor your friends.
I knew it.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, we'll travel like that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast.